You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thing.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I say hot tub! Hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Say hot tub! Rubber dub and hot tub! Rubber dub and me! Trying to get the hot tub! Yeah! Really make me sweat! Yeah! Trying to get the hot tub! Yeah! Really make me wet! Yeah! Well!
Thursday Hot Tub brought to you by ESPN 104.3. Yes, I call it 104 point something else.
105. You went through the whole gambit of numbers.
102, something Montgomery, one of the stations up Montgomery I used to listen to. I mentioned that. It's Thursday, one of my favorite days. I get to spend time with two of the greatest around. Jeremy Prison. Jeremy, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How is church going?
We're doing great. First United Methodist Church, Panama City. We are just hopping on all cylinders through the spring of the year like everybody else. But 8:15, 9:30, 10:45 every Sunday morning, all kinds of things happening. See us online.
No
Facebook.
doubt about it. Do a great job. Incredible job down there. Enjoyed it. And the legend, the man, the myth, 23 years, Bay County Athletic Director. How many years in Florida did you put it all together? 40?
Wait, what?
How many years altogether did you work in?
Only 37.
37 years.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, Janice, that's halfway point for Janice Solaris.
I know. She's still going.
She got 60-something. She started since she was 12.
Oh.
Anyway, good to have Tommy Santamon in here. Tommy, you doing well?
I'm doing good so far.
Louise, doing well?
Yeah, Louise is fine. We're all fine.
Good.
Grandkids are fine.
Got some good-looking kids. Your daughter, is she still working for the district?
Yeah, Mosley High School.
Oh, she's at Mosley now.
She's the guidance counselor at Mosley.
Great girl. All right, Jeremy, what's going on locally?
A lot of good things happening. You know, this is that great time of year where the winter sports are winding up and the spring sports are getting started. Congratulations to our Arnold Marlins.
Yay, Marlins. Go Marlins. Good. Go. Glenn Manley, take that, buddy.
And shout out to Coach Manley to start the morning. Arnold got a revenge win against Booker T. Washington. BTW got him in the district final and sent him on the road to Lecanto in the first round of the boys soccer. But they came back through the brackets, played each other last night, and Arnold was victorious over BTW, and now they have qualified for the state tournament in the Final Four. They go in as the 1 seed among the four, and they play Pembroke Pines Charter out of Region 4 down southern part of the state. They are not the only local team playing in the Final Four for the soccer. South Walton playing Gulliver Prep tonight. And 6 o'clock there. So local boys soccer. Girls basketball, the Rutherford Rams, for the third straight year, have to make that long trip to Jacksonville to play Bishop Kenny. They have dominated the home court. I think it's like a 32-game home winning streak there at the Ram House, but have to hit the road. One year I wish the bracket would work out where Bishop Kenny had to come this way.
They are private, correct? Bishop Kenny?
Catholic school, yeah. And so they 6 o'clock tonight. Good luck to the Lady Rams. Maybe the third time is a charm.
I think we're going to have them in here Monday. Jason's trying to work it out.
Good.
Coach in here.
Very good. And then in the boys' side, not a lot of success in the Panhandle this time around. Chipley in the 1R class is going to play Williston on March the 1st in the Final Four. So they're the last one standing. Everybody else is getting the spring gear out. Speaking of that, just some quick baseball since that's getting underway. We're going to talk more Mosley baseball, but they're 1-1 right now in the young season with wins over Crestview and lost to Pensacola Catholic. The Bay Tornadoes dropped their season opener to Freeport 10-8 and have a game with Bozeman tomorrow night. Bozeman won their opener 4-1 against Walton, which
Bozeman's going to be good.
Well, stay tuned because they're making that jump 2 classes. They're going from the 1R to 2A in the reclassification, so this will be more in line with who they will be playing next year.
Now, as football and baseball, don't they do it differently, Tommy? Like football, you're probably a different classification than some of the others, like basketball and baseball.
There's a few more schools here and there, but they're still going to be pushed up.
Okay.
So Rutherford, 12-1 win over Vernon to get the season started. And they will play Destin tonight. North Bay Haven, we want to extend our sympathy to Bobby Hughes, who's the head coach at North Bay Haven. His father passed away, and they're having the funeral service tomorrow up at First United Methodist Church in Mariana. But he was able to play a game last night. Franklin County moved the game they were supposed to play tonight to last night. North Bay Haven made the trip to East Point, came back victorious 7-4. Talked to him and said, that couple hours between the lines and with the boys probably, be good for him right now. So keep the whole family in your prayers. But they're 2-0 on the young season. They drummed Weewell-Hitchcock 12-0 and 7-4 over Franklin. And then the Arnold Marlins, high hopes on the Arnold baseball squad, and they are 1-0, defeated Dalton, Georgia 5-0, and play at Mariana tomorrow night.
Go Marlins, baby.
We'll cover softball and those things later, but that's where we are with local sports.
I think we had a phone call. Oh, let's take this phone call real quick. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing, Coach?
I couldn't be. I got 2 All-Americans in here. I'm doing great.
I know you do. I have a high school question for you. When I left down there the first time many years ago, back in the last century, Arnold High School didn't exist. Now, is it named after the pig on Green Acres or the diner guy on Happy Days? Or is it General Arnold from the Air Force?
You sound like Bay High people. That's what they used to say. They did. Or the pig. Yeah. They used to say that. Yeah. No, great family here in Panama City Beach. Wonderful people named after them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I had a guy in my neighborhood that was named Arnold, but he was named after Palmer.
Yeah.
His dad was a sports gambler and golfer. Anyway, condolences to John. Kentucky lost on the last-second shot at LSU last night.
Can you believe that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I can believe anything. Yeah, man.
Coaching.
Hey, I want to do a Black History Minute.
Okay.
All right. Now, I tried. People say I was making it about the balls when I led you that Reggie White thing, but he really was the best athlete I've ever seen in person, but I only saw him play basketball in high school. That was one.
Yeah.
But the next 2, and I'm kind of bragging on myself, Patrick Willis. I'll throw Ole Miss a bone. Saw him as a safety, and I thought he was the next Ronnie Lott. I think I've said that before. But he went down to Ole Miss and weightlifted and nutritioned himself to being one of the great middle linebackers, or Mike linebackers, as y'all say. The other one, E.J. Jr. Throw you Alabama thing. Saw him play as a junior and senior in high school at, Coach Manley's adopted football school, Maplewood.
Yeah.
Anyway, because East wasn't any good at
E.J.
football.
was unreal. He was unreal.
He was, and he played every snap, Coach, when he was in high school. Played tight end, pretty darn good tight end, runner. He could run the ball. And I saw him playing a basketball game one time. He missed a dunk. It was his first game back from the state playoffs in football. And he wasn't, you hear people say that really is a thing, basketball shape and football shape. It has to do with muscle stretching and stuff like that, and repetitive use. But later in the season, when he got his basketball legs on him, he slammed it 3 times.
Oh, I bet.
And it might have been against East. I don't know. Anyway, I ended up going Manly pigging and sticking. But y'all have a great day. Thanks for the update. We are in Tennessee. I'm not in Arkansas right now. And I talked to a Tyler Simpson classmate yesterday when I went to the chiropractor over there in Martin. the UT of the West.
Yeah.
But he seems to be happy, and it's a good thing because you need a lot of quarterbacks these days.
Yes, you do.
Need a lot of them.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, I'll let y'all get back on track. I just got a preacher question, though. Why did Solomon write 8 verses about the virtuous woman? He wrote 8 chapters about his black girlfriend. That's another Black History moment. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Mike. That was good. Hey, what about Eli? I heard about it about a month ago. They're going to run him out of there. They did. He didn't quit on his own. 70 years old, went through the health issues. They kind of felt like he's losing his touch a little bit. It's really sad to me, but I'm really happy for Chris. I like Chris. I've met Chris. He's every time we see him up at the Hoover, he's always up at the Hoover thing watching the games. He'll do a great job. But what was your kind of? I was sad.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't either. He's very loyal. 36 years loyal to the University of Alabama. And then they pulled the plug. I don't know, it was Burns. I don't know, it was the radio station. It had to be a combination of both, you'd think.
Was he ready to give it up?
No.
He made that clear.
Yeah, he came out publicly, and I was in a chat last night. Said, this was pretty wise.
Eli goes the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide radio network.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it started circulating when Ray Perkins came in following Bryant.
There you go.
And Perkins told John Forney to hit the road.
Which was a big mistake.
Yes. And he brought in Paul Kennedy. And, of course, Paul, good guy, better announcer, but when Stallings came back, who came back?
I love it.
Forney.
Yeah.
And everybody was elated. I hope DeBoer is nowhere near Eli's departure.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. I just hope that he's not.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that question if that was involved.
Well, and I know Stewart's been in the wings waiting, but gosh, the dynamics, even in the play-by-play calling here, from Bryant to Saban, Forney, Gold. It didn't take us long to make those connections.
I hear you. I don't think it is because I heard about it before the hiring of coach. I'm gonna double check that to make sure.
Who was responsible? Would you think?
It's a combination of both.
Well, the Crimson Tide Sports Network and the university and the athletic, they're all in on it. And it was a non-renewal on the contract, which Eli acknowledges is their prerogative.
Yeah.
He did not travel except to the Iron Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I know having a home crew and a road crew has to be a bit daunting and challenging. Mm-hmm. But as we were discussing, he's not calling the X's and O's. He's describing what those who are paid to call the X's and O's are doing.
Right.
And I just have a real sort of bitter taste around not helping a person finish well.
Yeah. After he's been through all he's been through health-wise, it felt like he lost his edge. Maybe not as enthusiastic. Heck, you just got through going through cancer.
Right.
And you would think as he gets away from that, he'll do a better job.
Yeah.
And I just don't like it.
You think of the great voices of the Southeastern Conference and really just college sports. When you're dialed in and you can't watch, they are creating that sort of theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Just like we do every Thursday morning here. We just help you all see things.
I would go on my computer and always watch the pregame stuff and listen to him because they come on like 3 hours before the game.
Right.
And then right at kickoff, I either leave it on or turn. Most of the time I turn it off and just watch TV. But I will listen to that. I've done it with Andy Burgess.
Depended on the broadcasting crew for the television game.
Yeah, no doubt. But it just shows you can work your whole life and do the right things. And at the end, there's not a lot of loyalty both ways. But like I told everybody, I always say to myself, when bad things happen, it doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. I think after he gets out of it for a while and gets over the hurt, I think he'll be fine.
Well, he even put out that he was going to be announcing what he will be doing going up. So there's no quit in him. Somebody battles back through cancer and fights as hard as he did when he was pretty much giving up for
What will he be doing? Are they?
I don't know. He just said that'll be shared, but he was emphatic that it was not a retirement, that this was.
Yeah.
And how long has he been?
36 years. 36 years. Voice of time.
Sounds like something like Bobby Bowden at FSU.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
But, it's a shame that they couldn't at least give him another year and let him graciously kind of make it something to go out to where it would be just he's here one day and gone the next day.
Well, I think Jimbo might have had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you what, we have time. Did you see the Saban legacy? I shared it on Facebook, the whole thing. Jamie interviewed Saban. It was great. She asked him a question. He started laughing. Miss Terry comes in and pulls him out. But what Mickey said, Mickey did an unbelievable job, Tommy. You need to watch it.
I will.
It was great about Coach Bell. Ann came on there. Now, she wasn't there in person. Her and Tommy videoed it, and they played it. Terry was there representing the family. But they did such a good job about Coach Bowden.
Oh, I thought you said Saban. You talking about Coach Bowden?
He won the Saban award.
Yeah, posthumously, Bowden won the Saban. Yeah.
Frank Beamer won
from
the other
Virginia
one.
Tech was the other. But
didn't Spurrier win it last year?
I think that's right. But yeah, Miss Terry was in charge. Come on,
did you see that?
The Beamers are waiting.
Yeah, he's in there and giving a press conference. She walks in and go, let's go. The Beamers are waiting for the pitcher. And he's like, he looked at her. You can tell for a second, he's like, okay. Okay. All right, he went. It was crazy. Well, that was the wrong finger. I saw that.
You haven't done nothing yet to deserve that.
Hey, we had a great time yesterday. J. Michael's restaurant was packed out. I saw Donna Allen there Tuesday, but yesterday, Wednesday for lunch was packed out. Went in there last night, got there about 5. You couldn't find a place to sit. Every Wednesday, they got world famous spaghetti. It's outstanding. Go try it. You'll absolutely love it. But they got the best seafood, coldest beer, J. Michael's Restaurant. Beef O'Brady's, they had a big, huge crowd. Now, it's changed up. On Wednesday, you get 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Okay, so that's changed up somewhat. They had a huge crowd also in there Wednesday. Go out there and have a great time. Lunch specials every day. And also South Oak, Todd and Close and Chuck Tucker, number 1, not even close. And Charlie Corn's place, Tommy, you there like every Monday, I believe.
That's right.
I wish I could get an invitation, but that's okay.
11 o'clock, Monday morning.
And they got, him and Linda, they had a place since 1986. Have y'all used that back room yet with 25 people? We need, for a birthday party, a chamber meeting, heck, a small banquet, you can sit about 25 people. The food, the country cooking is unbelievable. Biff, they got it all there. Go check it out. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
These hotshot young coaches don't want to come to the foul. They don't want to deal with Rich McKay being the go-between between Arthur Blank and them. They're done with it. That's how come we get Raheem Morris, who was there when Dan, the motivational speaker, was the coach. Raheem Morris was his defensive coordinator. What's the new thing here? I don't get it.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly sunshine and a high of 66 with a moderate breeze out of the south around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of some clouds and very light showers and a low near 63. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high around 70. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're trying to get up with Mosley's baseball coach. We're working on it, and if we get him, we'll share Coach. He's doing a good job over there at Mosley. And Coach Howard, trying to get up Coach Howard at Mosley High School. If anybody sees him, say, answer that phone.
Coach Hughes, we mentioned, passing his father in North Bay Haven playing last night. He texted in just to check in, but he said that it was a tough road win for them down at East Point, and that Franklin County had a lefty that was throwing mid-80s. That's pretty strong for any level, let alone Class A. So that's a good win for North Bay Haven going down. When they combined Apalachicola and Carabel, kind of bolstered that talent pool a little bit. So that's not an easy place to go play now with the number of students they're drawing from. So appreciate him checking in and telling us about that. And so they're 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, who did Mosley have last night?
Mosley played Catholic Wednesday evening. There, 9-2 lost to Catholic. And
Pensacola?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pensacola Catholic, they got a great baseball program. They're always really good. That's an all-star football team and baseball team.
It's just a great program over there. Pace is another one over there. They play and Tate. Those are kind of your big three that
That's right.
Every year you can expect them year in, year out to be high caliber ball team there. Doesn't get any easier for Mosley. They play at Niceville. So they've got.
Well, think about it. When you're really good and you go make a schedule, you can't get anybody to play it.
That's right.
So their schedule's always going to be tough. Patton has the same problem. You're going to have to play tough competition every game.
Yeah.
And Coach Howard's used to that. He did a great job up in Georgia.
Well, in the Mosley schedule, they've got a lot of those Georgia teams, Alabama teams like they played last year. They are playing a lot more at home this season. I talked to Doug Lee early in the year, and he kind of talked about how frequently the Dolphins were on the road last year. Well, they're going to play a little bit more closer to the friendly confines, which would be good.
A little easier on the budget.
Exactly.
Do you know who their district is?
For Mosley, let's see. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're trying to get Coach Howard. We're trying to get him on the line. If we get him, we'll go with it. If not, we're going to talk. This is Mosley. Every Thursday, 7:15, we'll be talking about Mosley baseball. 7:30, we're going to try to get with the athletic director, Coach Doug Lee, talk about something else they did I think is outstanding. They had a 50-year, I don't know if he calls it the Hall of Fame or whatever he called it, but I thought it was pretty cool, and we'll talk to him about that when we get him at 7:30. Hopefully we'll get Doug at 7:30.
So Mosley playing in Class 6A District 2, and they've got Crestview, Charles, Leon, and Niceville.
Wow, that's pretty tough now.
Pretty stout. Yep. Yeah, they don't have to go all the way over to Pensacola and pick up, Tate and that crowd. So,
Tommy, since we've been here, it's been Mosley baseball's been the king, and then Bozeman opens up. Patton builds that into a powerhouse program over there. But those two have really been the teams, and to me, it feels like people have caught up or catching up or have gotten there. Arnold's gotten a lot better than what they used to be. They're going to have a really good team this year. Rutherford's improving. Coach Coughlin's got that program up there. Hudson always wins wherever he's at, doesn't matter. He'll have Bay in the right direction. So baseball, like it always is really competitive, and everybody's pretty doggone good. The coaches, most of these coaches, and most of them they're really, really good coaches.
Yeah. Baseball has always been good in Bay County. That's the way it's always been.
Yeah, a lot of talent all the way around, though.
I think we got the legend. We got him. Coach, I think we got Coach. Coach, you doing okay today?
Yes, sir.
Coach, good to hear your voice, buddy. How was the off season? Did everything go pretty good?
Yes, sir.
Real
we
good.
We're probably younger than maybe Mosley's been in a long time, but we got good kids, and they're young, inexperienced, but they're athletic and talented. So it's going to be a challenge, but the kids have done everything we asked.
Well, we were talking about your schedule in your district, how difficult it is, but you're used to that. When you were at Georgia, you won all those state championships. It's hard to get teams to play you when you're winning like that. So you're kind of used to it. Can you give us a rundown on your coaching staff? Did you make any changes? Who's helping you this year?
We got the same staff with Matt Aldridge is running our strength training and pitchers. He does the pitch calling during the game, and then we got Taylor Stanford that handling our infield, and he's our head JV coach. And then I got Brian Zirkle doing our outfielding and coaching third, and Taylor Stanton coaches first year of the game. So I like our staff. We could use a couple more for our young kids, but that hadn't materialized yet. We tried, but go ahead.
Coach, I think the Mosley sort of slogan this year should be anyone, anytime, anywhere. I'm looking at your schedule, and there's not a breather on this schedule. Every time you take the field, you're looking at a quality opponent across the diamond. Just curious, as to the thoughts there. I mean, out-of-state teams, that have great histories, local panhandle teams that are strong. So, to speak into the scheduling a little bit, if you could.
Yeah, I don't know who made that schedule out after.
Doug did.
Doug did it.
Put it on Coach Lee for sure. It probably needs to be replaced, but as long as I've been coaching, I've got a lot of contacts with a lot of quality programs, and a lot of them want to come down here, and we had some tournaments, but we, our schedule is very unforgiving. I can tell you that. So we don't have any choice, but we predicate, not on wins and losses, but our season is how long we play. So hopefully that there'll be a return at the end. When we get into the playoffs and things. Yeah.
Well, it is an incredible sled, which brings some great quality ball games to the area here. If you like watching baseball, there's going to be some outstanding games there at Mosley. To speak a little bit about your district, and we talked about some of the players in there. Childs, Niceville, Leon, but what's kind of your feel for district play?
Well, it's just so competitive, to your point. And you got Tate. Tate's got a couple of quality D1 arms. It's Niceville, and then Leon has got maybe the best pitcher in the area, in our class, not in the area, but in our class. So it's very, very tough. It's very competitive. So we got our work cut out for us, but and we don't even have to play Mosley. So how about that?
Tough trip over to Pensacola Catholic. That's another just juggernaut. But you went over and made that trip. Kind of break down that game for us, if you could.
Yeah, well, first of all, we opened up with Crestview, and we played pretty well. And then last night we had a 2-0 lead, and they had runs on first and second. We had a play down the left field line. Our third baseman had a chance to make a play, and Denton, and I would have ended the inning, and then all of a sudden you make a mistake against somebody like that, and it's double hit batter and single, another single hit batter and walk. It's 5-0 for it. You can even get the pitcher out of there. So you make a mistake against quality people, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah. Well, it's another way to sort of develop that ball team early here with a tough place to play, tough competition, and kind of learn from those mistakes and bounce back. But the split with Crestview and Catholic out the gate, not too bad. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Like I said, we played Smith Station out of Alabama. They won a state championship 7-8. We played Central. They won it 2 years ago and played for it last year 7-8. So. And we're not even talking about the Florida teams, but then Marist comes in here in 2 weeks, and I think they won something like 18 or 20 state championships. Won it 2 years ago in Georgia, so they're going to be good too. So
yeah, no rest for the weary here, but at least you draw them at home.
Yeah.
Coach Howard, Tommy Saint-Amant, I know as a coach, you really like to have those experienced teams coming in, but I know you got a lot of young kids. Don't you get a lot of satisfaction seeing how you can develop these kids and watch them as they grow through the year? So how do you feel about that?
Well, the main thing is, we base our success on, the results that we win or lose, but it's also based on improvement. And to your point, it's very rewarding and, to watch them evolve, mature, and get better, And so, the games are the acid test, when you throw down that exam. We get out there and we get evaluated, and we make mistakes and we try to correct them and move on and get better. But like you said, it's very rewarding to watch them mature as baseball players and as individuals too.
Right. Exactly.
Coach Hale, we got about a minute. Can you give us some names of some of your top players? Give a little love to your players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now, Jordan Martinez is by far. He threw a shutout the other day, and he's our leading hitter. And I think he had through the Crestview game and last night at one time he had 5 straight hits. So, he's our bell cow on the mound and at the plate. And then Cash Circle is our returning shortstop. Peyton Williams is, our returning center fielder. So those are the guys that played a lot. And then Adam Land that played at first. He hadn't been able to play, and hopefully we'll get him back tomorrow. So, but other than that, we got a lot of young kids, and they're trying to figure it out. But they're doing a real good job.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on. We'll call you next Thursday, 7:15, talk about Mosley baseball. Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate the coverage. I appreciate what y'all do. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
Coach does a great job. Hey, how many state champs? I can't remember. There was so many of them. I can't remember.
7 up there. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. And he's right. He knows all these different guys. Yeah. That schedule, my goodness. Hey, we're going to try to get Doug on here next. Doug Lee, the great athletic director, and you're talking about a great baseball coach. To me, maybe the best I've seen. Patton's up there too now. Patton's up there right there. And we just got Coach Howard. Unbelievable. Bay High Baseball knocks it out of the ballpark every year. We got great coaches at every school, no doubt about that. Turpro Pest Control, you want the yard to look beautiful? Call Pat. He'll have it looking gorgeous. Give him a call. Turpro Pest Control will get out there and get everything fixed up for you, and it'll look beautiful. Dr. Chad Mitchell, we're back in the studio Monday, the legendary doctor. Tommy, we got to do something for this guy. The county needs to recognize this man.
I agree 100%.
25 years of his time on Friday nights on these sidelines.
The key is a doctor taking his time to do this.
Yes.
That tells you how much he loves.
Yeah. Steve Moss, I know you're listening. Jerry's listening. Register's listening. Coach, you better be listening. You think Coach is listening? He's probably doing his TV show. anyway, we got to do something for him. I tell you what, I love Josh, the new county AD. He's a great guy. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road. Jeremy, what's your favorite?
I've moved the brisket to number 1.
I'm still with turkey.
Yeah.
I'm still a turkey guy. Tommy, you got there quite a bit. You and your family.
Live pork.
I was through there the other night, and I just had to stop, and I was like, brisket. Okay, so got a new rankings.
If you have a problem warming or cooling your house, you have no problem anymore. You call a local company that takes care of everybody throughout the Panhandle of Florida. That's Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're number 1. Not even close. Be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs.
Visit their new location, Highway 77, south of Tractor Supply.
There's nothing more satisfying than helping you find the perfect vehicle. And this month, find something you love at just 2.99% APR on our most popular models. Plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Like the 2024 Camry with stylish good looks and impressive performance. Or the 2024 Corolla, built for comfort and style with top-notch tech. Panama City Toyota. For over 30 years, where relationships are born.
Offer expires March 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thing.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
These men need inspiration.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
They're motivated by Vicodin and Road Skank.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
California, too. And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. He'll do a good job. The deficit there, I think, $70 billion. So he'll fit right in. Anyway, we're talking about something else off there. Really appreciate Coach Howard coming on from Mosley. It's Mosley Day, and when I think of Mosley, this is one guy I think about. This is the pitcher. You know, when I think about county ADs, I always think about Tommy, of all the guys I work for. And I think about Mosley High School, the first thing that pops up, Doug Lee. Wins the state championship. Tried my best to, he's smart now. He conned me. I had him, we had dinner, trying everything we can to get him hired. And he sold his brother on us. And one of the best things we ever did, because I love Chris Lee. Chris Lee's outstanding. But Doug didn't even ask him. I said, well, the Booster Club will do that. He didn't even faze him. He just, he's highly intelligent, I'll say. We got him on the phone. Coach Doug Lee. Coach, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Coach. Thanks for having me this morning. Appreciate all y'all do for Bay County athletics.
Well, we appreciate you, man. How you liking your AD job? Do you ever miss the coaching part of it? I know the longer you're out of it, it's easier, but I know it was hard the first year for me. But how was it for you?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think we all have itches from some days to coach again. Of course, it's a lot easier when you're an armchair quarterback. You know, I'm 1,000% in that chair.
Yeah. That's how I am too. We got all the answers. Believe us. You listen on Monday morning after an Alabama game. We got them. Hey, how's your family doing? Your mom and dad, are they doing okay?
They're doing great. I appreciate you asking. They're doing great, and you know, life is good. You know, they're getting up there in age, but they're doing great.
I got to ask about Ernest T. Bass. How is Chris doing?
Well, that's funny. He actually called me this morning, and we were talking about. I told him you guys are going to be calling me a little bit. He said to tell you hello, and anyway, he's doing great. And you know, some of those days at Arnold with you are some of his fondest memories of his career. So he wishes you the best.
I love that boy. All right, I got to tell you, son, I'm proud of you, what you've done. You county AD at Mosley, one of the best coaches I've ever seen in any sport. At what you did at Mosley in baseball, but now I like what you're doing. Talk about the 50-year recognition. Was it the 50? I don't know if I named it right. The 50-year reunion.
Yeah.
What was it called?
So what we just did this past weekend, and as we and it really you know, I didn't have much to do with some. We talked about, you know, Mosley. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary, which I know everybody kind of knows now, and we just, you know, our administration sat down, led by Mr. Bullock, and just wanted to see what were ways we could celebrate this year and make it special. And so obviously the athletic department wanted to be a part of that. And Coach Whitten had a great idea with doing something with the football history here at Mosley. And then we've just recognized part of our athletes and female athletes and the history of those sports. And so I think this past week was a neat weekend, and but we just honored our half-century female team this past week and recognized them. And you know, there's a lot of history here, and been a lot of great athletes, a lot of great female athletes that's come through the halls of Mosley High School. So it's been a thrill to honor these folks.
Now, did y'all do it? How did you honor them? Where did it happen? Was that the school?
Well, yeah, we had them at the school and had a big, what we call it, the Fin Fest, and you know, just had quite a few things going on with you know, food trucks and exhibits and things that are going on currently at the school, and then they were part of that program.
Well, I tell you what, you work for a great principal. He does a super job over there. Academically, you guys knock it out of the ballpark. All athletic teams are outstanding. You got great coaches, I think, just about every sport. And he's in a long list of great. I will say this. Larry Bollinger was a great principal there. Bill Husfeld did a great job there as Principal Mosley. They've always had outstanding administration.
Yeah, and that, it starts at the top. And, I love coming to work and working with Mr. Bullock on a day-to-day basis. He is very supportive, not only for athletics, but any program we have on campus, he's going to do everything he can to support it and give it the means and the resources to be successful. And so, Mosley's had a proud tradition of many administrators and principals, as you mentioned, that's made this place what it is today.
And one of them, too, Mr. Tucker, did a great job back in the day. Really good
Absolutely.
job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's coming up next for you? Anything going on? You're going to have anything else going on there special the rest of the year?
Our winter sports just finished up, and, spring sports are right here, and we're hot and heavy getting into that. And I got to watch a little bit of softball over at Niceville last night also, as I rode over to watch the baseball team. I got a freshman that gets to travel every now and then, so he was traveling with him, so I tried to get see both the softball and baseball a bit last night. So, but we got, track. We're going to be hosting track events soon, and of course our tennis team is hot. Got off to a hot start, led by Coach Garcia. And, of course, boys weightlifting there. I think they got to meet, they had a meet yesterday. We got Arnold. So, it's all, it never stops, as you know.
I wanted to ask you, too, and Jeremy, you might want to jump in on this one because you did the same line of work. Are you still officiating, or what do they call it?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm I thought this might be my last year, but they hired me back again, and I'm still doing that. And so, this week I'm heading to Troy. I think I got Harvard is coming into Troy this weekend. So I'm still doing a little bit of that, but my two knees are starting to tell me it might be time. I might need to give that up.
Will you do the Troy, Alabama game this year? We got.
I do have Alabama at Troy this coming May. It's May. It's in the first of May, I believe.
Yeah, Joey Pettis. Played at Arnold, played at Mosley. He's going to be playing and doing a pretty good job up there for Troy. And I'm going to try to get him on the radio show before that game. That'd be kind of cool. We might need to go to that game.
That's the one I've circled. That's as close as they're coming.
Especially if he's caught. We can harass him the whole game, man. That'd be great.
Yeah. Y'all might help me out that night.
Jeremy, I have a press. I want to ask one more question on Jeremy. I'll let you ask him. Doug, what do you think about the records going forward, stolen bases and everything? Now the new rules and the pitching at the highest level, can't they time it up because they know they got to get the pitch off in a certain time? Do you like that, or what's your thought about that?
Well, if I'm being candid and I'm having to work the clock and I'm trying to get outs and saves and pairs and fouls and watch for balks as a base umpire, that can be difficult. And at our level, the NCAA, obviously, this is the first year we've got a visual clock, and some schools are wanting us to work it from the field. Some are having someone to work it. Of course, last week was opening weekend, so there's some kinks I'm sure we're all going to have to work out with that. But I do think it has sped up the game to a process, to some degree, and it eliminates a lot of unnecessary, I guess, timeouts being called. But so I like the pace of the game, but I do think teams are starting to figure out ways to gain an advantage by waiting to the last minute, or even the hitters got to be at our level. The hitters got to be alert and ready to go at 10 seconds. And of course, the pitcher's got 20 seconds, and sometimes they may try to quick pitch that guy. So those are things we, as an officiating crew, we have to kind of we talk about going into the series and be aware of anyway. Just them trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Doug, we've really seen an evolution of the ball game that I think is just going to be pushed down, and I know much of this is coming onto the umpires. And as the game shifts, And people who, are in the stands think they know the rules and they know less and less of them. I know it's got to create a little more havoc for all of you on the field.
It is. It's just so much more we're having to pay attention to, deal with as far as the timing. And again, I think the intent of trying to speed up the game, which I think that's a great thing. It's just there's a lot to it as far as trying to watch time. And, I had to plate Saturday night South Alabama. And, as the plate umpire, I'm supposed to be the guy responsible for the 22nd. And I can see it on the scoreboard. But at the same time, token, if that pitcher starts to wind up, and I want to make sure I get that pitch right. That's my priority, so it can be a little tough. And, again, you're trying to watch for balks with the pitcher and all that kind of stuff. And then you're trying to, if you're not watching, umpire 101, you're supposed to watch that ball wherever it goes. And you take your eye off that ball for just a second and you look at that pitch clock, you may miss something. So that's just things that we're having to adjust to and kind of, get some help maybe from the third base umpire at times too. But it can be a challenge anyway.
Well, and I know you do a great job, as do all those guys. And, until they get between the lines, they don't really understand the scrutiny. And anybody in the stands wants to come down and try it. Always an invitation.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, we got to take a break. Can we hold you over just for a minute or two?
Sure.
Tommy wants to ask you. We got Doug Lee, the legendary coach from Mosley High School, state championship coach, county AD, athletic director now at Mosley High School. We'll finish up with him in just a second. Let's talk about some of our great people. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, you'll look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski can make it happen for you. They got a brand new store on 23rd Street. One at Pier Park has been there forever. Dr. Ward, you can listen to him. He sold out every one of those tickets, 1,200 tickets. We advertised it here on our show. Sold them all out. Made a big money for his baseball team over in South Walton to help the really cool.
Did you
good
win
stuff
anything?
there. No, I didn't. I spent money, didn't get my return. I was upset, but it is what it is. Hey, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. He's got offices throughout Northwest Florida. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. The best pizza you'll get anywhere. And a retired police officer owns that. For that reason alone, we should pack it out. They do a great job. I love the lunch special. 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink for like $11. We split it. We get 2 drinks, and that Julie and I, is outstanding. Go try it. You love it. That is Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. We'll be right back with Doug Lee. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly sunshine and a high of 66 with a moderate breeze out of the south around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of some clouds and very light showers and a low near 63. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high around 70. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show,
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but
but
just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State. Woo! FSU update is brought to you by Newbies. Glad Newbies have a great time. 3 great locations. And don't forget, this has been really going well for them. Newbies, the mothership, Thursdays only on Thursday today. You can go there and have lunch from 12 to 1, and 1 o'clock they start bingo. And they have people enjoying it. We got a lot of people from Canada down here on the beach right now.
They love bingo.
And everybody's getting it. I tell you what, we love it. We were going to go today. Julie is on her way to Mississippi. She's going to Beau Rivage to the Dancing with the Stars, having a show over there. And she'll be, I don't know when she's coming back, but so we can't go. Unless you want to go, Tommy, you and Jeremy can go try to play. Get Doug to go with us. Have a great time. Let's bring Doug Lee back on. Tommy, you got a question for Doug.
Hey, Doug. Tommy Sainamont.
Hey, Mr. Sainamont, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Listen, have you ever had? I know this is a bad time of year for you with the umpiring baseball and all that, but I wish you had tried one year to go down to the FIAAA conference, and it's normally in Orlando, and it's usually the first week of May. This year it's May the 2nd through the 6th. It's at the Embassy Suites in Orlando. But, FHSAA, all those guys are always there, and they do a presentation. But I think you would really, really like if you have an opportunity to go down there.
Yeah, I really do. I would love to go to that. And matter of fact, Mr. Latcham, I said we were talking about, he went to the national one this past year in December. I think it was in Orlando also.
Yep.
And it was a last-minute thing. I almost loaded up and went with him, but it just didn't work out. We had so many things going on here at school. But I really would like to do that. I know it would make me a better athletic director here at Mosley. And, I used to go to the National Baseball Convention, obviously, a long time ago as a coach. And I know it's a lot like that.
Right.
You really do. You do gain a lot of knowledge, and it's very educational, and I do think it would be a great benefit. Something that's on my list I really want to do.
Yeah, and the networking, meeting other ADs and finding out what they're doing in their county, that was very helpful for me when I was there working. But FIAAA is a great organization. I think you would really, really like going down there. So if you get a chance, try to make it. I'm always there.
Okay, absolutely. Well, hopefully I'll run into you when we go.
Yeah, you will.
Doug, before we let you go, we want to ask you a couple questions. FSU baseball, Coach Martin passed away. His son took over. People pretty critical. What do you think about the new baseball coach? Is this kind of, for them to have a bad season, it's just different, What do you think? What do you hear about the FSU? Do you think he's the right guy? Do you think they'll get it turned around?
Yeah, I like Link Jarrett. I remember when I first started umpiring, I've got a box score where Link Jarrett was the shortstop there. So I guess that says I'm pretty old. But I think, Link's obviously proven. I mean, he did a heck of a job at Notre Dame. I mean, he's obviously Florida State through and through. He grew up in Tallahassee. I think Coach Jarrett will end up doing a great job here at Florida State. And I'm excited about it. We've got a couple local guys over there. Obviously, one of our Mosley guys, that's Rowan, and Dorsey from Arnold is over there and getting some time. So, I'm not in the ACC anymore. But I'm obviously pay attention to that program. But it was sad to see Levin pass recently with him, and then obviously Bruce Van, who was a dear friend of mine, who really did everything for me, umpiring. For them to pass, there's a lot of memories there, and they had a tremendous history together. Obviously, umpiring and working those games with 11. But I've got a lot of memories of being able to work there, and been very honored and grateful to have had that experience in my life.
I could tell you a lot of stories about Bruce Van. He was a good friend of mine in Fort Walton. We played softball together, but he was a good guy, but he's kind of on the I don't know. I don't want to say it on radio. But, we had a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
I knew Bruce very well. Spent a lot of time with him, and he really deep down inside had a great heart. Do anything for you, but
yep.
He was one of the best umpires I've been around. That's for sure.
Right, he was.
Well, Doug, thank you so much. I know you're busy. Thank you so much to take some time out and spend with us. And if you ever need anything, fundraiser, whatever's going on over there, just let us know. You're always welcome to be on.
I appreciate it. I do want to give out a quick shout out. I tell you, one of the main people that's done a tremendous job and a lot of work, a ton of work, on this 50th anniversary teams that we've been celebrating is Cindy McGuire. She's a teacher here. And you probably know Gene McGuire, her husband, and he gets a lot of notoriety, but she has been the backbone and really worked tremendously on each one of these teams that we've been honoring. So I do want to mention her this morning. And again, thank y'all for all y'all do, too, for Bay County Athletics.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. Anytime you need to be on, let's go. Thank you, Doug.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Tell you what, but over there, a great school like that starts at the top. And all the way back when I met Larry, Larry did a really good job. You knew all those principals. Larry did a great job as a principal. I think Bill Husfeld did a great job when he was a principal there. They were outstanding academically. It just carries on. And we talked about Tucker, Coach Mr. Tucker. He did a great job when he was a principal there. And it starts at the top. You want to have a good program. If the principal wants it, they're going to get it.
Yep, you're right.
Go ahead. What do you got for us today on FSU?
I've got a whole lot, but we probably won't have time to do it all. But
we'll make time for you.
I'm gonna start with softball.
Okay.
And if any of y'all watched FSU this year, they have a little problem right now. Their pitching is not doing very well. They have Allison Royalty. She was a senior, and she was not doing good at all this year. She's been a lot of walks and stuff, and they had the number 2 rated softball player in the nation to sign with FSU, Ashton Danley, and she's a pitcher. She's a freshman though, and she's already pitched in some games. And Emma Wilson, she's a senior, and McKenna Reed. Those are their pitchers, and they're just not. They throw a lot of balls, and they get behind the count. They throw it in there, and then next thing you know, a home run, and that's it. But the good thing about it is. They've got a Dugout Club Classic starting in Tallahassee tonight, and they're going to play 6 games in 3 days.
Wow!
So and they're going to play some competitions, kind of get them back in the groove. I hope for the pitchers. But tonight at 5:00, they are playing. Who are they playing here? It's FIU, Florida International. They're playing them at 5 and 7:30. It's a double hitter, 5 and 7:30 tonight. And then Friday they play Charleston Southern, a 3 and 5:30 game. And then Saturday they play Nicholls State, and it's 3 and 5:30 also. So that's some teams I think that would help them, gel the team and get the pitching going. But the offense has been really good. Mm-hmm. They've got some good hitters there, but if they don't get the pitching straight, it's going to be a long year for them.
Yeah.
Right now they're 5 and 3, and they're number 11 in the nation right now. So, and they got beat by some really good teams. Remember I told you about the teams they played, and Georgia killed them, and it was like 10-0 at the first. They just ended up being 20-10. So they scored some runs, but the pitches they got to get ready. Baseball, Doug mentioned Link Jarrett, and right now they're 3-0. And Friday, tomorrow, February 23rd, they're playing in Tallahassee. They got a 3-game series with Western Carolina. They play at 5 on Friday. Saturday they play at 2:00, and Sunday they play at 1:00. And Link, they're doing really, really well. The hitting's come around, and last year, and he made the mention. He said they had no pitchers. It was the best pitcher got hurt and wasn't able to play. So he's really recruited. He's had a lot of transfer kids that come in. Matter of fact, one of the transfer kids, Drew Farrow, he came in from UCF. And Drew's grandfather and I was roommates at FSU, Arthur Farrow from Bluntstown. And so Drew is doing real well. He was playing shortstop, and they moved him to second base. But he's hitting them. I think he's averaging 400 right now. So he's doing real well hitting the ball. So I think they're going to be a little bit better than we're going to be a lot better than they were last year. So we'll just have to keep an eye on them. And in basketball, they're 14-12 this year, 8-7 in the conference. Tuesday they played Boston College in Tallahassee and beat them 84-76. And Saturday, February the 24th at 7:45, they're playing Clemson at Clemson, and they played Clemson in Tallahassee, and Clemson beat them 78-67. So that's going to be a tough game to play away in Clemson to beat them. And finally, in women's basketball, they're 19-8, 10-5 in the conference. And tonight at 6:00, they've got Boston College, and they should beat them. Boston College's record is 11-16, so I'm hoping that I think that they probably should beat them in Tallahassee. Football-wise, everything is clicking. They're in the off season and they're doing all their conditioning and getting all these transfer kids incorporated into the system, and they're all doing real well. The Leonard kid is an offensive guard from Florida, is transferred to FSU, and he says that's the best thing that ever happened to him coming to FSU from Florida. So
wow,
and he's going to be he'll probably end up being a starter most likely.
You think they'll use that quote in recruiting?
Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. They might let him go on the recruiting trips.
Unbelievable
when they're doing it. But anyway, their football's doing well. Coach Norv is starting his tour, and I think May the 6th or 9th. He's going to be in Panama City. I'll find out.
Where are they going to have it at? You know yet?
I don't know. They hadn't really announced it yet.
Okay.
So, but they will.
See if you can get him to come on the show.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to count the AD, your buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get back. I got to tell you something else. The story about you and Coach Bowden when you knocked him his head off when he opened his door to his office. He just woke up. Anyway, do I got time to talk about anybody? Get out to Newbies, have a great time. Don't forget today, 12 o'clock, head out to the mothership. They're going to have lunch for you. Then at 1 o'clock, bingo, it starts. You can win some money there or have prizes, have a great time down there. That's really, people are excited about that. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. Of course, you know at night where you're going to go. You go out on the weekends, you're going to wind up to Mothership. They have the best bands in the Southeast, no question about that. Charlotte wants it, so Charlotte's going to get it. Also, Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all sporting events. They got that. It's up and running from the tornado. They got it. It looks great in there, especially in New Park. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. Jeremy Pridgeon, Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Celebrating 60 years in business? That boot store must be doing something right. How about one of the largest Western collections in the area? Carhartt work clothes, affordable prices, and absolutely the best personal service you'll find anywhere. These are just a few reasons that boot store is celebrating 60 years in business. Stop in today. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Bird Kia 15th Street in Panama City. That boot store, where God is good all the time.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX New Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide Roll. Alabama Update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. And don't forget, about every 6 months, this is when we do it, right before summer, right before winter, they come in, they service it, it runs better, it saves you money on your power bill, and the unit lasts longer. If you got an old one and all it's doing is just running that bill, that meter's running, you're just wasting money every month. Get you a new one. They'll come in, they'll measure it out, they'll tell you exactly what you need. They'll give you some options, and they do a better job than ever. I could not believe that we had everything done. New lines, everything completely done. And they did an outstanding job. And our power bill's gone down, and our house feels really good. No doubt. I really appreciate them. Great people. Jason, one of the most honest guys I've met. Locally owned right here, and he's a Mosley graduate, I believe. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Jeremy, what do you got for us today on the Alabama Crimson Tide?
A lot going on up in Tuscaloosa, and we'll start with some of the spring sports that are getting underway. Because I don't know how long we'll be able to say this, but the Alabama softball team, 11-0 right out of the gate. Yeah, Roll Tide. The most notable wins for them, they went on the road, beat Georgia Tech in Atlanta, played Virginia as well while in Atlanta, got a win there. They're playing at UAB this weekend. There's always a strange history between Alabama and Alabama-Birmingham, but they will play in the kind of spring sports. And
sure, it's in Birmingham?
It is in Birmingham. Wow. They're playing in the Green and Gold Classic. So Coach Murphy taking the show on the road. Alabama is the headliner in a tournament this weekend featuring the Blazers from UAB, Western Carolina, Bradley, and North Alabama. So still doing kind of the tune-up work of the spring. Good luck to them this weekend. Baseball, 5-0. Now, opened the weekend, last weekend, against Manhattan College, swept Manhattan College, then picked up 2 in the midweek, beat Glenn Manley's Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State 6-1, and the Hornets from Alabama State made the trip up to Tuscaloosa, and that was a 12-0 7-inning rout of Bama State. Valparaiso coming in to Tuscaloosa this weekend for a 3-game set at the Joe. First pitch 4 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So all 3 games, day games, afternoon games, should be a great weekend of baseball there in Tuscaloosa. Spring sports off to a great start. How often did you get to take on the #1 team in any
Not very often, if any.
Yeah. Well, it's going to happen for the Alabama ladies tonight. Alabama's women's basketball team has very quietly put together a 20-7 season.
Wow. I didn't recognize. I didn't know.
Now, quietly. Yeah. But they go to Columbia, South Carolina tonight.
Ooh, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Sounds like it'll be good.
Yeah. So South Carolina's 25-0, #1 in the nation. Dawn Staley's done a great job there, and it's going to be a tough night for the ladies. But hey, what do you want? You just want the shot.
Sure.
Just go in and shock the world. What happened at UConn and Creighton the other night?
That's right.
Creighton out there, and they drummed UConn. So good luck to the ladies as they go into Columbia. Maybe they can get out of there. And you talk about a signature win.
Yeah.
If you can pull that off. So we'll see. Speaking of the hardwood, Alabama men got a gritty, tough win against the Gators last night.
Florida looked good.
They looked really good. I thought it was in doubt. At about the 10-minute mark, Florida was up by 7, seemed to have pretty firm control of the ball game. And Alabama just kept battling in those last 10 minutes. So kudos to them. It was almost like the home crowd willed them back into the ball game. I mean, there was a great environment in Coleman Coliseum to knot it up, send it to overtime. And then in the extra frame, Alabama pulled away and got the win 98-93, keeping their first place secure there in the conference. Doesn't get any easier, though. They head to Rupp Arena Saturday.
Have we ever won there? Not very often.
Not often. I mean, occasionally you go in there, but that's just a tough place to play. You ever been there?
No, but I heard it's big.
It's huge. I mean, and there's a hotel like adjacent to it. Like you just walk through the hotel, and all these folks, the Blue Blood Kentucky fans, just come right down from their rooms and
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it's older though, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's older, but it's cavernous.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's one of those.
Is it pretty loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still loud. They love their basketball. Yeah. So, but Alabama #1 in the SEC and head to Kentucky. If they can pull that off, that's a great week.
Kentucky is really the big threat, right? I think they're one game out, maybe two.
And Tennessee is.
That's what I mean.
Tennessee, yeah. Tennessee's the one up there.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest news, and we touched on it earlier, but worth hearing again for those that may not have joined us in the first hour. But Alabama play-by-play announcer, 36 years, Eli Gold, will not have his contract renewed and will not be back this fall on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. And that really, as I said earlier, that just didn't sit well with me. Chris Stewart, who has been handling play-by-play role for basketball and then covered the away games and also filled in for the year that Eli was out as he was dealing with the cancer, is now going to step into that chair. Chris is exceptional. I know great guy. So, and there will be a seamless transition. You just hate how there's kind of an awkwardness around it because you've got somebody who spent 36 years in the booth and some of our greatest memories. I mean, this is a Deckerhoff type thing, or Munson or any of these great names. Fife.
Well, think about it. Andy Bertram was there, and then we all know what happened with the accident, and then Andy steps in and just keeps it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it worked really great for Auburn because how great Andy Bertram is. I think same thing's going to be happening here with Chris. I think Chris will do a great job. I don't think he's drop off at all. But I'm with you. I hate it. I don't like it because of the way they did that man.
Yeah.
And it's like you talked about earlier, like how they did Coach Bowden. They could have gave him one more year. Yeah. But they just decided it was time to do it. And they did it.
And they did it. And they did. And I think Eli is certainly one who understands the business side of that. But gosh, when you see what he came back from just to get back to the booth. I mean, there were
just overcome is sad.
Even on Thursday morning, we would sit here during that going, he's not doing well, and so he fought valiantly to get back to the booth there.
Jamie said he is a nice man.
Yeah,
great guy.
Well, I heard him years ago. We had him in the Pensacola Bama Club, and came down. His opening line was a great one. He said the president of the club had called and said, do you believe in the First Amendment? And he said, yeah. I said, I do. He said, well, do you believe in free speech? Absolutely. I'm an ardent supporter of free speech. He said, well, would you give one in Pensacola?
That's pretty good. Yeah. I like that, man. DeBoard, how do you say his name? The new head football coach, he was at the game. Did you see him?
Yes, I came in
his
second
wife
half.
And kids, they were there.
Yeah.
It was kind of, the first thing I thought, when you ever see Saban, now, DeBoer's like me. I wear whatever I want. It's comfortable. That's what I wear.
Mm-hmm.
But Saban always dressed like a GQ. I mean, that sucker, his shoe, I mean, when he came here in Julie's office, I looked at he dresses nice, and he got some nice clothes. Yeah. Every time we go up there in Tuscaloosa in his office, he always dressed really nice. And DeBoer is like the regular coach. I mean, he just had a pullover and sit there enjoying the game.
Yeah, even on the A-Day game, Saban's out there, you know. I mean, everybody's, what's he going to wear?
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's a different era.
Game day, he'll be, he's going to be dressed up really nice for game day.
Absolutely. So a lot of good things happening in Tuscaloosa. Obviously, Eli Gold piece will have to take some time to be processed, and it's end of an era. I mean, my childhood, some of the great calls, great memories, and
36 years.
Yeah, he's got some good ones.
Do you think so? He's done with the Hey Coach show too.
The Hey Coach, Stewart's and A-Day Stewart will be in the booth there. I think my favorite Eli call, when Alabama defeated Florida in the SEC game. and when Tebow was the quarterback on the radio, he said, Alabama, the dreaming's over. California, here we come. He had the way of spinning those lines. And then the other one in that same year, which is my favorite, won the national title for the first time since '92. And he closed the broadcast, and we were listening on our headsets in the stadium in Pasadena because we could do that. And he said, the roses in this grand old stadium are once again crimson.
I love it, man. Love it. Well, I hope he doesn't happen to you. Happens for you. He'll be fine.
Yep.
Alabama Update's been brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're there for you. Walk at it. We're going to go buy some great jewelry. We want to go to a place, maybe get something repaired, something designed the way we want it. Where are we going?
But don't forget, take that old jewelry that you have and get it appraised for insurance values. And then go to Mr. Dickerson and say, hey, I need this insured. And all you got to do is go to 830 on Highway 77 right there in Lynn Haven. Take it to Russ. Say, I don't know what this is worth. He'll evaluate it for you, give you, an honest price. And if you want to sell it, you can sell it. They do buy used jewelry. That's David Adamson Jewelry right on 77, right in Lynn Haven.
If you get injured anyway, Tommy did. Tommy had an injury. We're not going to tell you. I don't want to embarrass him. He fell. Anyway, Dr. Chad Mitchell's the answer for everyone. You don't have to be a great Bay County athlete. You can be anyone. Go see Chad Mitchell. God does an incredible job. And you can listen to him right here every Monday morning on ESPN 104.3. Can't wait to get him back in the studio. Miss Chad. He's been going on a conference, learning all the time. He's always educating himself. The guy's incredible. And also South Oak, Todd and Close. They do what the big-time realtors do on 38, like Mark Cowart, Beth Movey. They all want, and you should too. It's your deal. Demand Chuck Tucker. Demand South Oak, Todd and Closing for all your real estate closing. The guy does an incredible job. If you're at Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street on Monday, you can look across and you'll see a legend sitting there. Tommy Santamont and his crew, they do a great job down there. Get down, 25, the big room in the back, 25 people can sit back there. You have a birthday party, chamber meeting, whatever you want to do. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. Him and Linda's had a restaurant since 1986. Beef tips, chopsteaks, spaghetti, meatloaf, you name it, they got it. Country cooking, it's unbelievable. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. We're right back with Wildcat, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up to the minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly sunshine and a high of 66 with a moderate breeze out of the south around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of some clouds and very light showers and a low near 63. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high around 70. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Auburn Update, brought to you by Beef Row Brady's in Lynn Haven. You want to have a great time. You know about Pat Perno is a wonderful, wonderful man. He's always giving back to the community. Tommy, you remember back when they used to do our TV shows over there for high school football. Pat was there. He fed all the coaches. He took care of people. They have fundraisers. He gets involved in that. They had Valentine's Day. They had the horses there for the veterans. He's just a great, you can't say enough good things about Pat. Does a great job as city commissioner at Lynn Haven. But get out to Beef Row Brady's. What I love about going in there, you walk in, the employees, hey, how you doing? There's always a smile on their face. The way they treat you, you don't get that everywhere.
No.
But the successful people, successful restaurants do those kind of things, and they treat you great. The food's outstanding. It's kind of like being at Cheers, where kind of everybody knows your name, and people are really friendly there. Get out to Beef Row Brady's in Lynn Haven. If you've never been, you need to go. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Great place to go watch all sporting events and everything else. You want to have a great time. That's Beef Row Brady's in Lynn Haven. I appreciate the Auburn update. All right, I want to talk to you guys about a couple things. The mystery teams, college football teams. We just mentioned one of them, Tommy and Jeremy. The mystery teams of college football, I would say Wisconsin's on my list. Lou Fickell, he can coach. We all know that. I think this is year 2. Now, Wisconsin's got to play Alabama, Oregon, Penn State, USC, just to name. And then the Big Ten, the rest of the Big Ten, they got to play. Last year, they're going to be better. Wisconsin's going to be better in year 2. The problem, their record in 2023 was 7-6. They might be better, but with that schedule, I don't know what the record's going to look like. That's one of them. Mm-hmm. My next one's Texas A&M. They got a new head football coach, Mike Elko, did a great job at Duke in the ACC. You're not playing in the ACC. You've got Texas coming in. They got that game's back on their schedule. Their schedule's brutal. I don't know what to expect from them in year 1. I think year 2 will be better than year 1. I always think that. But they're kind of a mystery team because some people are thinking A&M's going to be really good next year. I'm not sure about that one. When I get through all these, I'll ask you the questions. And then probably the biggest one to me is Miami.
Exactly. I would say Miami,
yes,
too.
They bought all these players. Right. They got the millionaire down there that's helping them. He has not produced yet. The Georgia Tech game I think of last year. Oh, wow. Yeah. The coaching, he's made coaching changes. And look at their schedule. Listen at Miami's schedule.
You're going to know that first game how good they are. Florida.
Here we go. I think they're at Florida. Mm-hmm. Then they got at home Florida A&M. Week 3, I feel good about these. Ball State's at home. Then they're at South Florida. South Florida's going to give them all they can get, but they got to win that ball game, I think. Home, Virginia Tech. Then they're at Cal. They travel to Cal. Then they're off. Then they're at Louisville. Louisville's going to be good. They got a ball coach there. That guy can coach. Yeah. Then they're at FSU. No, they got FSU at home.
That's right.
Which is a 50-50, really. Mm-hmm. Then week 10, they got Duke. They got a new coach there. Off week, then they got at Georgia Tech, at Wake Forest, at Syracuse. Last 3 I feel good about. Their schedule.
They got a good schedule.
It's not as bad. It's not that bad.
No.
Hold your thoughts on that. That's one of them. And then my last that I picked, and you guys probably have more than I had, but I just did these, is the Auburn Tigers. Coach Hugh Freeze has brought in some good ball players. The signing class was outstanding. They got a lot of 5-star receivers. It's going to be better. But let's look at their schedule. Auburn opens up at home, Alabama A&M. They get Cal at home. Listen to all these home games beginning this season. Cal at home. They got New Mexico, not New Mexico State. They got New Mexico home. They got Arkansas at home. And then the big one, they got Oklahoma at home. If they can pull off the upset of Oklahoma, I don't know if that's an upset because Oklahoma wasn't very good last year either. They could actually start out there 5-0. Then the big one, at Georgia. Mm-hmm. Kirby's going to have them ready to play. Then they get an off week, and then they're at Missouri. Missouri's going to be good. Their schedule sets up pretty nice. Keep an eye on Missouri. They might make the playoffs. Then they're at Kentucky. I think they can take that one. They're home at Vandy. They're off. Then they got home at Monroe. They'll win that one. Then they got A&M at home, a brand new coach. I feel pretty good about that one. And then they're at Alabama with a new coach there also. Jeremy, out of those 4 mystery teams, which one of these 4 teams is going to have the best year? And talk about each one of them. Are they mystery teams to you, or am I crazy?
Wisconsin just is always knocking on the door in the Big Ten, but they can't seem to break through. It's like, Penn State's Penn State.
Right.
And until Franklin
they'll always be third place. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But Wisconsin flashes, and they have a chance. Alabama making that trip up is going to be a real test, not because it's a Big Ten game, but are they competing at that level? It's a test for Alabama as well, and you go up north and play. So watch that one. A&M, not really worried about that one. I think that program.
You don't think they'll be as good as people think?
No, I think with Texas returning, the very group they wanted to get away from has now shown back up in town.
Right.
And Missouri, I like what Drinkwitz is doing out there. Big win over Ohio State going in. Miami, that's such a. I mean, you look at their schedule. That looks like a non-conference schedule. You're sitting there going,
they better win with that.
Yeah, I mean USF. I mean, I get that they're going on the road, but they ought to pick that one up. And Ball State, Florida A&M. The test to Gainesville is huge for both coaches. I mean, there's a lot of pressure in Gainesville already, but with Florida and Miami, game 1, the fan bases are gonna whoever is vanquished out of that game. They're gonna.
What if Florida loses to Central Florida State, Miami,
and Miami?
Yeah,
and it's possible.
He won't make it through the season if that happens.
No,
I've seen 2-10 is they're going to be their record.
Yeah, that happens. And then
Auburn, the schedule's favorable, but Freeze is the question mark.
Can Thorne get it done at quarterback?
Yeah,
that's the whole deal. They got a good young one there, but it's hard to play that position as a true freshman.
Yeah, and
that's the reason they're a mystery team to me. I do think they're gonna be good, but I'm not. That schedule's pretty hard.
And who would have ever thought that Cal had Auburn, Miami, and Florida State as common opponents?
I was going to say, welcome to the Southeast football.
All right, Tommy, he just gave his thoughts on it. What are the mystery teams I've mentioned? What's your thoughts? Wisconsin, A&M, Miami, Auburn. Who do you think will have a better year? Jeremy, you never answered the question. Who will have a better year of those 4 teams?
I think Wisconsin.
Okay. Tommy?
Miami, without a doubt.
I'm with you.
Their favorite. I saw the win-loss of them. They're favored to win 9.5 games. Clemson 9.5, FSU 9.5. All 3 of those teams are favored to win that many games.
I think Auburn's on like 7.5.
Yeah, probably so.
Or 7.
But Miami, like I say, they have recruited well. They got some great players. And that first game is going to be very key for them. It's going to be key for Florida and for Miami. And I have no idea. I think Florida has the advantage because they're playing in the swamp.
Yep,
that's going to be a big plus for them. I hope both of them lose that game. I think Miami's got a chance to have a good season with who they got.
I didn't write down A&M's schedule. Wisconsin's schedule's tough. I know A&M's schedule's tough for their SEC, but I looked at Miami's schedule. The biggest to me is Florida State and Louisville. That's the 2 of the teams they play. Florida's down, but I can see Florida win that game. But then you go look at Auburn, Oklahoma at home, Arkansas at home, at Georgia, at Minnesota. Not Minnesota, Missouri. Then they got at Alabama and Texas A&M. Auburn's schedule's tougher than Miami's.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, I think if Auburn has a winning season this year, I think they could go 7-6, something like that.
Yeah,
7-5, maybe.
If he is the coach, I think he is. Auburn wins 8, maybe 9 with a bowl game. We'll see.
And Wisconsin's same. They're in the same boat. I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Out of the coaches, Lou Fickell, Elko. Who's the Miami Cockroach? Just now my mind. Cristobal, which I used to thought was going to maybe have a shot to get the Bama job. And then Hugh Freeze. Who's the best coach? Right now, I'd go with Lou Fickell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
I would.
I would too.
I would.
Definitely.
And I
definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, real quick before we get a break, I want to get this in. Auburn hires Chris Robinson as the outside linebacker coach. He coached at Baylor, I think this past year in 2023. And I don't know if he's inside or outside linebacker coach at Baylor. He's coached at Auburn. He was linebacker coach at Auburn 2022 with Harsin. He was at Florida from 2018 to 2021, inside linebacker coach, I believe. Worked also at Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Georgia. So the guy knows the SEC. Yeah. I think it's a good hire for Auburn, no doubt about that. So I'm pretty sure he's got his whole staff together now, and I think Auburn's ready to roll. Auburn Update's been brought to you by Beef Braised in Lynn Haven. Go have a great lunch out there. Have a wonderful time. The lunch specials every single day. Try hey, Wildcat, what about them onion rings?
Onion rings.
Best
baby.
onion rings I ever had.
You know, and they've got one of those $10 specials, which they have every single day out there, where you get mac and cheese and the onion rings and something else I forget, but I don't care, because right there, you got it, right there. Everything you need, right there.
Yeah, Beef Braised have a great time. I love Pat. Pat, we love you, brother. Also, Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick will do a good job for you. Have any kind of problems, your yard is not looking right, just call Pat. He'll get it done for you, I guarantee you. We use him. That truck's all through Bay Point. Great guy. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. The best pizza you'll get anywhere. But actually, it's 3 restaurants in one. The deli is incredible. The bakery, oh my goodness, the Paradise Cake. The Napoleon. They've got it all. Their desserts are just like Louisa Santamont. She can cook like you would not believe. Mm-hmm. And Paparazzi Santa, you've been there with us. It's great.
Yeah.
John's a retired police officer. Go check it out. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, it's a college basketball doubleheader as the Washington Huskies travel to the McHale Memorial Center in Tucson to take on the Wildcats of Arizona. Coverage starts at 12:30. Then, your number 14th ranked Auburn Tigers are in Athens to battle the Georgia Bulldogs. Coverage starts at 4:30. Tip-off at 5 on your home for college basketball on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sales event going on now and drive away the new 2024 Kia. Now offering 4.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,267 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/4/24.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all.
I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicy or food
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tommy Santamont, Wildcat, they're in prison. Hey, Wildcat, you were doing some duties a minute ago, and we were talking about your Wildcats.
What about
Jeremy had been to Rupp Arena. I did not know there was a hotel that connects to it. You can walk right up in there.
It's been years since I've been up there.
Yeah,
so that's a new addition.
It's a neat little connection there.
And they have some kind of corridor where you can stay out of
where you make your way over there.
You don't have to get out in the elements to get to the arena.
That's
cool.
I didn't stay there, but it's
25,000 people, I believe it holds. Right?
It's
What are they in the state of Kentucky?
Yeah.
You got Louisville. That when Danny Crum was there, when they would come play at Southern Mississippi, it would pack out because people wanted to see him. That's the only game I think we ever sold out was Louisville when they come in there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the talk in Kentucky? Year-round basketball like it is in Alabama for football. Even though we're good in basketball now, we're good in everything right now.
The talk is some kind of coaching change in the near future. I can't see Calipari going anywhere, but then again,
Can they afford that buyout? I guess they can. Kentucky's got money.
They can. I mean, they've got all of these new automobile and battery plants going up there. They got the Toyota plant that's up there. They're close to Cincinnati, within an hour away. So I mean, they got all that business, and then of course the horse park and Keeneland and all that up there. Okay. And horse racing's big, and I did a horse auction up there, and there are billions with a B, billions of dollars that come into that part of the area when the horse auctions come in, because the horses sell for $1 million.
Oh, you said horse. Okay.
Horses,
yeah.
Coach, get your mind out of it. Jeremy.
What are y'all talking about?
Oh boy.
All right, in football, we know you got Ohio State with all those Fortune 500 companies in their state. You got Texas with that big time money. And Georgia, I mean, there's the state of Georgia, they've got, Atlanta, they got a huge city there. They got big businesses in Georgia. Mm-hmm. So those programs can actually buy a national championship like Ohio State's really doing right now. They really have. They're coming off the money. They're spending the money. Michigan woke them up. They don't like it. They're going to win a national championship. It might be this year or not. They're going to have a new coach. I believe that. Texas wants to buy one. Georgia's not going away. But in basketball, what schools, Wildcat, help us out because you're a basketball guy. What schools can do that in basketball? Can go out there and really outbid everybody else for these recruits? Is Kentucky one of them? I'm not. Kentucky's one of them.
Kentucky, that's one. Yeah,
between Louisville and
does Louisville have the money? But who else in college basketball has that kind of money? Texas has the money, but do they want to spend it on basketball?
No.
They want to spend it on football.
Well, and a lot of it's
Kansas.
Kansas.
If a team is winning, like UConn, for instance, they want to go to UConn because they're going to win there.
But do they have the money? Do they have big corporations?
Sometimes you don't need the money. In those schools like that, if I'm a great basketball player and I know they're going to develop me for the NBA, I'm going to UConn. And a lot of them do that. In other schools, not just UConn. Yeah. Kentucky's a good example of it.
And I think the parallel is what we're going to see potentially drop off at Alabama, where the pipeline to the NFL was still through Tuscaloosa. Is that going to be the case? Now is it going to be about the money? Because you might forego some of the NIL money.
It's going to be Texas, Ohio State, and Georgia.
Exactly. But if you've got the pipeline to the NBA through Kansas, through Connecticut, through some of these places, and you don't have to have as much money in the basketball program.
That's right.
Yeah.
You really don't.
You got five, That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a smaller scale.
If you can convince the player of that.
See, I thought when they would go to the NIL, I thought UCLA would be back in basketball, and they're still good, but they would be elite. And then I started thinking, but really, the state of California is hurting so bad financially, they might not get back there like that. I don't think they've got them. Everybody's moving out of California.
Right.
Who would want to live in California?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's moving out.
I know it's a pretty state, but you look at the taxes and what all you got to put up with there.
The homeless.
There is no way I would live there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see them. And we talk about Oregon football. They got big money because of Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough?
No. It's not going to be enough. Your Midwest schools, Indiana, you can't count them out. They're down. They have not been, what they were, but there's still an emphasis on basketball. Same thing in Kentucky, Louisville, the Northeast. UConn is cut above everybody else.
Wildcat, he's made a good point. Indiana, do they have enough businesses there, Fortune 500 companies that would support them in NIL in Indiana to get them back?
I don't know what they are.
Compared to Kentucky.
Yes, compared to Kentucky.
Yeah, you got Indianapolis sitting right there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's good corporate money.
Okay. All right, let's switch gear to baseball. Wouldn't you think every single year Vandy would be, and they are good, and they might win it this year, we don't know, but they have enough money
in Nashville
for they could put an all-star team together if they would choose to do so, correct?
Mm-hmm. The baseball piece is different because you also have the talent diluted into the minor league system.
That's a good point.
You know, you don't have the same filter. You can't
couldn't they take it away with money? Say, look, why would you go do that? You come here to Vandy, we're going to pay you this NIL deal. Why go do that?
It could happen. I mean, it's a great point there because you could get the money up front. Although some of these signing bonuses for these kids coming out of high school are lifetime guarantee type money as well, even if they are making peanuts driving around in the Class A league. So what are the end goals? The pipeline through college into the pros exists, but it's certainly not like coming through the farm system.
Mm-hmm. And two, in baseball and both basketball, I think it's having a great coach is a big plus for that. Mm-hmm. Even if you look at NIL, still having a great coach, they're going to attract the kids, and they'll go to the great coach, and maybe not, because they know if they're going to get developed, they're going to make their money when they get to NFL or NBA.
Don't you all think that in the future you're not going to see coaches stay around very long? I don't see Kirby staying in Georgia for 20 years. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope he does. He'll break every record out there. He might be one of the exceptions. But most of these guys now, there's no time off. No. You got to recruit them. You got to keep recruiting when you get them. You can't really develop the kid the way you want to anymore because they just leave and go play somewhere else. I think you're going to see younger guys taking over, staying a short period of time. I just don't see the Nick Sabans and the Bear Bryants and the Bobby Bowdens of the world anymore. Am I crazy about that?
No, now coaches have to recruit every single day. Even the kids they've got to do the right things. They got to have a great staff that, a lot of psychology now and all this stuff, but, saying the right things to your kids, trying to keep them in school and tell them, you don't want to go here, you need to stay with us, all that kind of stuff. It's an everyday 24/7 job, and you're right.
Yeah.
Who wants to keep dealing with that?
In the NFL, you see it now. They're going to the NFL. The great assistant coaches, head coaches, they're going.
Yeah, they are.
Do you think, like Saban said, he wants to still be involved in college athletics? We know he's going to do game day, but he also wants to see if he can help bring back college football. He says it's falling apart. I mean, you go see some of the things he's saying right now. Can they get together and really fix college football, or so-and-so threatens to sue them? They set these rules up, but we'll sue you. I don't know how you can get around anything anymore.
Yeah, I think the genie's out the bottle.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's sad. All right, I got a question for all three of you, Wildcat. If you could make a deal, good Lord, do me a favor. I want to be the greatest. I want to be a great basketball player. Some people, what would you pick? If you could be the stud of baseball, basketball, or football, which sport would you choose to be the superstar?
Me sport only?
Just a sport. Like you could be a Joe Namath back in the day when Joe Namath, everybody loved it.
That'd be easy for me.
What sport?
Basketball. Of course, I've coached basketball.
Okay, why basketball though?
Because I've always, played basketball. I like basketball. The sport's quick decisions, and it's a fast pace. Baseball, I could never do that, but I know Jimmy could probably would like that. But
I'm gonna say baseball.
I like the fast pace of basketball.
You got baseball?
Yeah, I would say baseball. I mean, look at Greg Maddox. Worked one out of every 5 days, dressed like an accountant. The rest of the time, sat in the dugout and pranked everybody.
Yep. Wildcat, if you could pick, could you be a Joe Namath? Yeah, some of these older people probably know who we're talking about. Joe Namath was a superstar back in the 60s.
It'd be a toss-up between baseball and oddly enough, they're both Joe. Joe Morgan, he was one of my favorite Cincinnati Reds
Johnny
players.
Bench, man.
Yeah, I mean, he played with those guys, and he
Hank Aaron,
all of them. Or Joe Mixon. of the Cincinnati Bengals now. I like that guy's style.
So which one would you pick?
Football.
Football?
Yep. Because
would you be a quarterback, running back?
No, running back.
Okay. Earl Campbell.
So I can sneak through that line.
I think
Barry Sanders. Yeah.
I think the piece with football is, you might not be Joe Namath, you might be Joe Heisman.
Well, that was the other deal. The other deal I was going to make, that I would not get hurt. Hey, good Lord, you not get hurt. I don't know. Baseball, if you're worried about injury, it'd be baseball.
Yeah.
And think about it too. If you really ego and you want to branch off and be a movie star after playing days, Burt Reynolds, you want to do commercials and stuff like that. When you play basketball, they see you. When you play baseball, they see you. When you play football, you got that helmet on. You're not as recognized as much.
Well, that hasn't stopped Kelsey none.
That's true.
And without Taylor, that hasn't stopped him. Or
to me, it'd be between baseball and football. But baseball, you last longer, your body's not beat up as bad, kind of like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So you see highly intelligent. And second sport, as far as your body, even though they run up and down that court a lot, is basketball.
But it's so physical.
A lot of games.
It's like football that pads. Yeah.
They make a ton of money,
baseball, tell that to Johnny Bench's knees.
Ooh, Johnny, I would not want to be a catcher.
No,
Johnny
that's
Bench
the one.
Or a pitcher, for that.
Yeah.
I couldn't be a catcher.
Yeah,
I could never get up.
I close my eyes. Every time they swing, I close my eyes. Bill Allen was great at that. Bill did a great job there. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. Go check it out. The best seafood, the coldest beer. J. Michael's on Thomas Drive. Stevens Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Anytime, day or night, it breaks down. Call Stevens Air Conditioning. They're there for you. South Oak, Todd and Closing. Chuck Tucker does an incredible job. Mark Cowett down in 38 uses him all the time, and Mark's one of the top realtors in the Southeast. Beth Movey, the same thing. South Oak, Todd and Closing, #1. Charlie Corn's brand new place on 15th Street. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend, will be back in here Monday morning. Can't wait for that. And skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. You get melanoma, you're in trouble. You better get checked out quickly. If they can get it earlier, you'll be okay. Dr. Ward's an expert. There's offices throughout Northwest Florida. And you listen to Dr. Ward every Wednesday, 7:30. We'll be right back. Jeremy Pritchett, Tommy Santamont, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Did you know that the Super Bowl halftime performers do not actually get paid? David did. I didn't know that.
Just recently I figured that out, and that's basically because of all the promotion that they get out of it.
Yes, it's what they're getting paid is that brand equity and brand awareness. Apple Music pays the NFL $50 million.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly sunshine and a high of 66 with a moderate breeze out of the south around 13 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of some clouds and very light showers and a low near 63. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a high around 70. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Broadcasting live from the Redneck Riviera. It's the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. On an absolutely beautiful Thursday here in Paradise, we got Wildcat behind the board doing a great job like always. Tommy Santamont, the legend. I mean, that's nobody does a better job than Tommy. And 23 years of Bay County Athletic Director here in Bay County. We're fortunate to have him. And one of the top preachers in the Southeast, that's Jeremy Pridgeon. Did a great job in the great city of Montgomery, Alabama. Comes here, knocking it out of the ballpark. You want to have listen to a good sermon, go visit his church. Jeremy, give a little love to your church.
Hey, First United Methodist Church, Panama City, and a great congregation. 3 services every Sunday, 8:15, 9:30, and 10:45. So, come join us.
We've got a lot of new members, too, Jeremy. Done really good.
A lot of new folks. The area is growing. Church is growing. A lot of exciting things happening.
They're, if you're not watching Facebook, they're looking at me right now. We're working a deal, but I'm going to stand my ground. NIL's big. It's important. If the NIL's right, I'll be there. Tommy, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you what, we've been going to 10:45 service.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Good. That's easier for me.
Yeah, we've been doing it.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, I just shared something. Later, read it. It's Nick, what he had to say about if he can use his voice to change a meaningful change in college football. Read that article.
Okay.
It's pretty good. All right, let's get into what you were talking about.
Oh, we were just talking about some of these. We looked at Miami's schedule and talked about all the different games they had, but top 10 non-conference games for this coming year.
Okay.
Would you be interested in seeing these games? Number 10, Boise State at Oregon.
No interest whatsoever.
Don't think Boise can do it.
Throw it out.
Okay. Arkansas at Oklahoma State.
That'd be a good game.
Arkansas at Oklahoma State.
For me, no interest.
Razorbacks and the Cowboys, first time in 34 years they have played. Old Southwest Conference rivals.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Am I outvoted 2-1?
Yeah.
Okay, and I say no. There's better games than that, but that's okay. Y'all go ahead.
All right, in the pick your poison schedule for Billy Napier.
Oh boy.
UCF at Florida.
As a national game, not much interest for me personally. Gus Malzahn getting an opportunity to play SEC school.
Yeah.
I think it was a game played at
Florida.
At Florida.
They've got Miami and UCF coming to the Swamp.
If they lose all 3, he's gone during the season, I think.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have it in my top 10.
Yeah. Is Florida State coming to them?
No.
They come back to Tallahassee. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so UCF at Florida came in at number 8. Number 7. This one's kind of yawner for me. NC State versus Tennessee at Charlotte.
Absolutely no. These are terrible games. Who is it? This is from out of California. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, I see it. Hunter Biden. Okay, go ahead.
NC State versus Tennessee at Charlotte. Tennessee's enjoyed playing at Charlotte, and they've gone there a couple times there.
These are not exciting.
All right, here you go. Notre Dame at Texas A&M.
Yes, that one I will watch.
I'd watch that for sure.
I'll watch that for sure.
That's going to be a good one. They opened the season at Kyle Field. Man, a lot of pressure there.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's another one that's going to be Big Ten SEC.
All right, before we get to that, Clemson versus Georgia in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll watch that one
for sure.
Is Clemson back?
It's Clemson back. Old rivals getting together in Atlanta. Yeah. So
those two are good. We got 2 out of 6 so far.
Okay. All right, now this is technically a non-conference game, although it's part of that arrangement that the Notre Dame has with the ACC. Florida State at Notre Dame.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
2 powerhouses. Yes,
gonna be a good one. Okay, the number 3 ranked game. LSU versus USC in Las Vegas.
Just because of the names.
Yeah.
I don't think USC. Well, I don't know. Lincoln Riley might outscore him. I don't think so.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think USC's got a chance.
No, we too.
I want to watch that.
Yeah. So number 3 non-conference game. Number 2, we mentioned it earlier. Alabama making the rare trip north at Wisconsin. I think first time.
You know what? I apologize. You said non-conference games. I'm thinking just games. So I apologize.
No.
Yeah, that would be interesting in that.
That's going to be a big one. And the number 1 non-conference game.
Hook 'em.
Texas.
Hook 'em, baby. I already knew it. I knew it. Hook 'em. Yes, that would be the number one. No doubt about that.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Well, I think these are the matchups we all clamor for, because we always talk about what conference is better when we used to realize who was in it. We're going to come up with another game called Name Which Conference This Team Is In, because it shifted so much.
I'm looking forward to that Florida State Notre Dame game, Clemson, Georgia, no doubt about that. LSU, USC, that's the beginning of the year. Oh, you know what? I had something. You know what the tickets are going for that game? I'm going to do this tomorrow. The LSU, this is for our LSU fans. They did a price on tickets right now. Week 2 at home, it's not. No, I'll go to the lowest ticket you can get at LSU
You're too cheap to buy those tickets.
At $8, home, South Alabama, going for $8.
$8.
Now, USC LSU game in Las Vegas, they're going average price right now. The lowest one's $377.
Wow!
So I'm gonna go with those.
A lot of folks coming.
Let's bring in an American legend right here. I've been upset because I've not heard from him. He's not called the show, and I don't know if I want to talk to him.
Yeah, he's got good reason.
He's got good reason.
You're too cheap.
How you doing, sir? Michigan Eddie's on the line.
I just woke up.
Oh, God.
You got a good life.
Told you that was a good reason.
Yeah.
I got in here late to Gainesville, and I just woke up, so now I'm calling the show, and I heard your NIL things about basketball. My list is UCLA, UNC, Duke, NC State, Kansas, Kentucky. You forgot one. Arizona is a big basketball town in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot them. So, anyway.
Well,
and you got MSU and Purdue in Indiana.
Well, Michigan used to be a powerhouse in basketball. Can you guys get up the money in NIL to get back to the top?
That's a stupid question. Of course we can. Pretty sure knock some sense into him.
Hey, listen, I was told by my teacher when I asked her a question, she said, that's not a stupid question. There's no stupid questions, ever.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. My apologies, Coach.
Yeah, I accept it.
Okay.
You're forgiven.
All right.
So Gainesville? Is that what you said? That's where you are today?
Yeah. Hey, can we preach a little bit since we got the preacher on? I got to say something. People that don't believe Lord doesn't do miracles, they're not seeing what goes on in the world. So I'm just telling my story real quick, just not for a saucer, but to tell people that the Lord does exist and miracles happen. In November, I was diagnosed with cancer and tumors and all that. In January, I had a clean PET scan. I'm here for a second opinion. So the Lord is out there, and He is still working miracles today. And if you're not saved and a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, then you better get with the program and do it. So anyway, that's all I'm saying.
I'm glad you got a good report. So you're getting a follow-up down in Gainesville then?
Yep.
Okay, well, you're at a good place there. A lot of folks head down that way there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then travel baseball in Orlando. We're leaving after my appointment today, going to Orlando again.
So you need to venture around. There's some sights to see. You can go see the stadium, go to Spurrier's and eat you a good steak, and it's a great town.
Yeah, I've been here before. I think it's a little claustrophobic for me, but we're waiting on for Alexa U.S. Acceptance decision and Michigan acceptance. So, but she wants to go to Michigan or UF because of the medical programs.
Okay.
But she wants to be a doctor eventually.
So you're saying that she does not want to go to one university that we discussed?
She's already got a full ride there, and it's not really a high on her list, Coach. Sorry.
Unbelievable. Can you believe that? Stupid is stupid. Anyway.
What?
No, nothing. I just read something. Somebody handed me a note. It wasn't about you.
Is that your Southern Miss education coming out there?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Hey, I was listening to you talk. I thought that was great what you said, because the report you first got and what you're getting now is just a miracle, which is great.
I'm glad to hear that.
Great.
Yeah, well, I had like 7 tumors they removed. They tested 14 lymph nodes. 5 came back positive for the C word. You need to stop saying that word, by the way. Too much of that word on this radio station lately. So we need to stop saying that word. And then in January, 2 months later, I'm clean.
Hey, we got to go, brother. We ran out of time. Call us tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Gay.
Safe travels.
See you.
Bye.
See ya.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
We need to go up north and bring Ohio State into the SEC.
I'm living for the day. I'm living for the day.
That ain't gonna happen. I tackled him. I grabbed his leg, wouldn't let him go. Got a